It was October 2019, before anyone even thought of the word lockdown. But at Brookdale High in Colorado, that word would change everything. The ordinary morning. I was 16, a junior, and honestly, that Friday felt like every other one. Math test, lunch with friends, then my favorite class, digital photography. The classroom was on the second floor, right next to the art wing, one of those corners of the school that always smelled like paint and glue. Our teacher, Mr. Kramer, was one of those quiet, patient types. He let us work independently, as long as we didn't make a mess. I remember the last thing he said before it all started. "All right, everyone, upload your projects. I'll check them before the bell." Then came the click of the loudspeaker. But instead of the usual cheerful voice, there was static. And then the principal's voice trembling. "Students and staff, this is not a drill. We are in lockdown." You could almost feel the air in the room change. Everyone froze. No one laughed. No one moved. Mr. Kramer ran to the door, locked it, shut the lights, and whispered, "Away from the windows. Now." 15 of us crowded behind desks and cabinets. I could hear someone crying softly. It was Amber, the freshman who always sat near the front. Her hands were shaking so bad she dropped her phone. The fear. Minutes passed. Maybe 20. Maybe 2 hours. No one dared speak, but we could hear things. Footsteps. A door slamming somewhere down the hall. Then, the faint sound of someone banging on lockers. Amber whispered, "What if it's the police?" Mr. Kramer's eyes were fixed on the door window, that tiny rectangle of glass covered by a piece of black paper. He said, barely audible, "No, police would announce themselves." My heart was racing, harder felt dizzy. I remember texting my mom under the desk, "I love you, we're in lockdown." No response. That's when the handle on our door jerked. Everyone went dead silent. The handle twisted again, and again, and then a whisper right outside the door. "Hey, let me in, please." It sounded like a student's voice, maybe even familiar. But Mr. Kramer shook his head slowly, mouthed, "Don't move." Whoever was out there pressed the hand against the glass, and for a split second, the paper shifted enough for us to see a dark sleeve and something metallic. Then, silent, the kind that crushes your chest. The aftermath. When the SWAT team finally cleared our room, 2 hours later, we were told not to look down the hallway, but I did. Just for a second, a body was lying near the vending machines, a gun on the floor beside it, blood smeared on the lockers. They said it was a former student, expelled last year. He'd come back with the weapon. He'd made it as far as the second floor before being stopped by police. That night, the school sent an email saying classes were canceled until notice further. No names, no detail, just silence. A year later, I still have nightmares about that doorknob turning, about that voice saying, "Let me in." We all think we'd be brave in a moment like that. But when it really happens, you realize bravery isn't loud. It's sitting in the dark, holding your breath, and praying the door doesn't open.
I was 16 when it happened. It was 5th period lunch, and right after that, I had astronomy, my favorite class. The classroom was in the basement, one of only 2 down there. The school had built them because the upper floors were always overcrowded. It was quiet, cold, and a little too dark for comfort. That day, as we were setting up the telescope models, the intercom crackled. "Attention students and staff. The school is now in lockdown. This is not a drill." Everyone froze. Mrs. Keller, our teacher, looked startled but tried to stay calm. "Okay, everyone, move away from the door. Lights off." We did as told. The hum of the old fluorescent lights faded, leaving only the faint glow from the projector. Then, silence. Not the normal kind, the heavy kind, where every breath sounds too loud. We could hear faint footsteps above us, the sound of running, doors slamming, maybe even screams. The air grew tight. My phone buzzed. "Mom, are you safe? They said something's happening at your school." Something's happening. Minutes passed. Then, a slow knock on the door, 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. Mrs. Keller's face drained of color. No one moved. Another voice, muffled but clear. "It's Officer Daniels. You can open the door." Mrs. Keller hesitated. "Say the code word," she whispered. It was something all teachers had for drills, a random word the police were supposed to know. Silence. Then the voice spoke again, this time quieter. "Please, let me in. He's coming." The hallway lights flickered. Something dragged across the floor outside, a long, scraping sound like metal on tile. Mrs. Keller motioned for us to hide. I ducked behind a storage cabinet near the back wall, my heart pounding. Through the crack of the cabinet door, I saw the handle of the classroom door turn. Once, twice, then stop. We all held our breath. Then, the screaming started. Not from our class, from somewhere down the hallway. The video starts at 1:12 p.m., right when the lockdown was announced. The hallway's empty, lights flicker. Then a figure appears at the end of the hall. Officer Daniels. Except, something's wrong. He's walking slow, jerky, like he's being pushed forward. His uniform looks darker, soaked. He stops right in front of our classroom door, turns toward the camera, and then smiles. But his mouth doesn't move right. It stretches too wide, like the skin around it's being pulled. Then, the lights go out. When they come back on, he's gone, but there's a shape on the floor. Something crawling. Not human. Long arms. The same dragging sound we heard. And then, the video cuts to black. After that, everything changed. The school shut the basement down permanently. They said it was due to air quality issues, but everyone knew better. The janitor told my friend that long before those rooms were classrooms, that area had been a storage space for old lab experiments. And one of the janitors had died there years ago, locked in by accident during a gas leak. The leak had left burn marks on the walls, the same scratches we'd seen. A week later, they sealed the doors with steel plating. But every now and then, if you walk past the stairwell that leads down there, you can still hear it. Knock, knock, knock. Like someone still wants to get out.